Hello friends, this video on nuclei part 16 is brought to you by examfear.com. No more fear from exam. Please make sure that you have watched all the videos till part 15 before going ahead with part 16. So now let us talk about gamma decay. So what is this gamma decay? In this, gamma rays are emitted. So what are gamma rays actually? Are they some particles? Not exactly. They are actually some electromagnetic waves with short wavelength. So if you go back and look at the lesson on electromagnetic waves, you would have seen that in that electromagnetic spectrum where you have your visible light, where you have the radio wave, microwave and all those things, there you have these gamma rays as well. So what happens is most of the nuclides after an alpha decay or a beta decay, they form daughter nucleus. Now these daughter nuclides are formed in excited state. Now any object in excited state is relatively less stable as compared to ground state, because we know that anything is most stable when it is at the ground state. So anything which is in the excited state will always try to come back to its ground state. Now when this daughter nucleus try to transit from the excited state to ground state, they emit some radiation, and these radiations are known as gamma rays. So the key point here is that most of the daughter nuclei of alpha decay and beta decay are in excited state. That means we saw a few examples of alpha decay, right, where uranium formed thorium. So thorium is the daughter nucleus, but mostly it happens that thorium is formed in its excited state. So thorium wants to become even more stable, so it will try to jump down from its excited state to the ground state. So when this transition takes place from excited state to ground state, the gamma rays are emitted, and this is known as gamma decay. So here we have represented it diagrammatically. Let us suppose you have a radionuclide cobalt-60. It undergoes beta decay and forms nickel, right? Now when nickel is formed, it is formed in the excited state. So nickel is in the excited state. So nickel wants to come down to the ground state. So it can be in excited state at n is equal to 1. I mean, let us suppose this is my ground state, n is equal to 0. So anything above ground state is excited state. So let us suppose that nickel is formed at n is equal to 2 excited state. So it wants to come down to the ground state. So it will make these transition. From n is equal to 2, it will jump back to n is equal to 1. Then from there it will jump back to n is equal to 0. So at that time some energy is emitted or some radiations are emitted, and those radiations are called gamma rays, and this kind of decay is known as gamma decay, because gamma decay will also be shown by unstable nuclide, because in this case also this nickel was relatively unstable, and that is why it wants to come back to its ground state, right? So they undergo transition to ground state emitting gamma rays. So now we have talked about all the three: alpha decay, beta decay and gamma decay, and in all of them you saw that there is an unstable nucleus which tries to become stable by emitting something. In alpha decay they try to emit alpha particle, and then it becomes some other relatively more stable nucleus. In beta decay also it emits an electron or a positron and try to become something which is little more stable. In gamma decay also it emits gamma rays and try to come back to the ground state which is more stable, right? So everywhere the basic concept of radioactive decay remains the same. An unstable nucleus wants to become stable by decaying, that means by forming something else. So now let us have a quick comparison between alpha rays, beta rays and gamma rays. So far we were talking about alpha particles and beta particles, but when you have a stream of alpha particles, you call them as alpha rays, and these three things together are known as nuclear radiation. So alpha rays are a stream of alpha particles, beta rays stream of electrons, and gamma rays, as I mentioned, it is an electromagnetic radiation. Alpha rays are positively charged because this rays will be consisting of positively charged particles. So they will be deflected by electric field, right? Because they will try to bend towards the negative. Beta rays are negatively charged, so they will also get deflected by electric field. Gamma rays are radioactive waves, they are neutral, so they will remain undeflected. Alpha rays will be deflected by magnetic field as well because they are positively charged. Similarly, beta rays being negatively charged will again get deflected by magnetic field, whereas gamma rays will remain undeflected. Penetrating power of alpha rays is extremely low. That means it doesn't easily penetrate into objects. In case of beta rays, it is little greater than that of alpha rays. But for gamma rays, the penetrating power is the largest. For example, in case of X-rays also, you have very high penetrating power. Similarly, gamma rays also have high penetrating power that it can penetrate into objects. The ionizing power of alpha rays is high. It can ionize things. Whereas in case of beta rays, the ionizing power is lesser than alpha rays, and in gamma rays, the ionizing power is the least. Because ionizing power comes from the presence of ions. In case of alpha rays, you have this helium nuclei, which enables the ionizing power, or which increases the ionizing power. In beta rays also, you have the negatively charged beta particle. But in case of gamma rays, since they are neutral, there is no involvement of any ion, and that is why their ionizing power is the least. So this was a comparison between the different nuclear radiations. Thank you. Please visit examfear.com to watch free educational videos, try free online tests, get the best quality study materials, study from the best tutors and mentors, and much more. Thank you once again.